Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Flow. In this video, we'll discuss another LeetCode problem that is the sum of even numbers after queries. So this is a medium level problem, and we'll understand how we can solve this question easily and on like a faster rate, and what should be our approach to actually solve this kind of questions. Okay. So before moving on, if you haven't subscribed to Learn Flow, make sure to subscribe to Learn Flow for regular LeetCode videos like this. The question says, you were given an integer array nums, a nums array being given to us, fine. An array queries where queries of I is value of I, comma index I. So it's a 2D array, value of I and index I. So that's the queries array given to us, right? Now what they're asking us to do, like for each query I, okay, for each of the query, like the first apply nums of index, that's index being given to us in the query array. So nums of index is nums of index plus value. So we need to add our value in our nums of index. Okay, so index is the second position, like queries of 0 1 or like the next position value is the index and the first value is the value we have. So we need to add a value to the given index, fine. So that's the idea we need to do. So after that we need to do like then print the sum of even values of numbers. So print the sum of even values of numbers, whatever the sum of even value we have in our numbers, we need to print that. Okay, so for that this is return an array, like integer array answer, where answer I is the answer of the ith query. Okay, so this is the approach. This is the kind of approach they are saying to us. Like we need to form this all the even values. So, like we need to print the sum of even values. So all those even values will be put into our answer array. Okay, and then we need to return this answer array. Now, if we just look at the example, it gives us a good idea. Okay, the nums is 1 2 3 4, and it says first queries of uh, 1 0. So 1 is the value, 0 is the position. So that there's like position 1 with us, like position 0 with us, we will add 1 to it, so that will become 2. So after adding 1 to it, it will become 2 2 3 4, right? So that's what we have. So in that 2 2 3 4, how many even numbers are there? That's 2 2 and 4 are the even numbers, so the sum of them is 8. Okay, so sum of those 8, and we put them in our answer array, right? Look, the first element is 8. In the next one is we have 1, that's the index 1, and we need to subtract 3. So after subtracting 3 for 1, like index 1, that from 2 is subtracted 3, so that becomes minus 1. So the remain array becomes 2 minus 1 3 and 4, right? And if we do the sum of the even values over here, then it's 2 and 4, that's 6. Okay, after 6 we find the second value in our answer array is the 6, fine. Then we got minus 4, and we need to add it to 0, right? Zeroth position. Now, once I add it to zeroth position, what's the previous value of zeroth position? It was 2 going on, and we will add minus 4. So after adding minus 4, it's like minus 2. It becomes minus 2, and the rest remains same. So once it becomes minus 2, now we do the sum of the even position values. Minus 2 is also an even, right? It's negative, but it's an even number. So minus 2 and 4, these are the values. So we got a 2. So see the 2 being the third value in our answer array. Fine. So similar way, we go ahead with the last query, that is the at position 3, that is at position 3, the last index, we got 2. Okay, we got we need to add 2, so that becomes 6 anyways. So you see 6 being the number that we're getting changed from here, right? 4 to 6 plus 2 is done. So finally, what happens? The sum of the values becomes minus 2 and 6, that's 4, and that's why you get the last value. So we got to see the whole answer. Okay, like, or not the answer, but the whole process, how this question is, like how the example is going on. Now the biggest question is how we should do this in our like in our solution. Okay, now if you look carefully, we how many queries are there? Okay, so queries dot length, whatever the length of the queries, that will be the length of our answer array, right? Isn't it? For each query, we'll see if there's a, like, we'll find a sum of all the odd numbers, and then sorry, sum of all the even numbers, and then we'll put that in our answer array. So that depends on the length of our queries array, right? So how many queries are there? That will be the length of our answer array. So this is the first observation here. Next, after each query, we need to find a sum, right? After each query, we need to keep finding a sum. Now think carefully. Is it a feasible way if to traverse the like whole array and find a sum again and again and again? Obviously not, right? I mean, if you are traversing the whole array to find the sum of what? To find the sum of all the even places values, right? So if that is the case, now that's not a feasible way, because I mean that's a way you can do, right? You can keep on finding the sum after each cases, like the way they say 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8, and you just add it after next operation. You go through the whole array, and then whatever the even numbers, we simplified it. Okay, so that is a possible way that you can do, but that is not the most efficient way you can do. Break into it. Okay, what I'm saying, let me just clear it off. Yeah, what I'm saying is, initially when we have nums, fine. Initially when we have nums, we can find a sum of it, sum of all the even places values, right? So if we find a sum of all the even places values, then what will be the uh, answer to us? That is 2 plus 4, that is 6, right? Now once we got a query, okay, we got our index, we got our value, right? We'll simply first go into our index and see if the index is a uh, or like even number or not. Okay, if that is not an even number, we'll not do anything. Okay, but if that is a even number, we'll subtract that even number from our sum, because only that position is the like only the position, that is only the index that is marked in our query, that is the value that's going to change, right? So first subtract the initial value from our sum. Further what we'll do, we will apply the changes, we'll apply the sum of the values, whatever the value is given, we'll apply the sum in this format, and then look for that particular index, whether now that index is an even number or not. Okay, if now it is a even number, we'll add it to our add it to our given value, simply add it to our given sum, like the sum we are finding. Okay, and place it to our answer array. Okay, so directly place it to our answer array. Once the sum is calculation is done, we'll place it to our answer array. So this is the way we can go ahead with. Okay, first calculate the sum of the whole array. So in that case, what will happen? Only we'll traverse the nums array once, that is order of n, then traverse the queries array. Fine, that's a different traversal. So how many elements are there in the queries array is actually that is going to modify our case. Okay, so if queries array having a large number of queries with respect to the length of the nums array, then the whole order will be order of the length of the queries array. Fine. So this will be a case, like first you got a sum, then one by one you will take the index from here. You will see whether the index is that index is previously a even number or not. If the index is previously even number, then subtract that index from our sum, right? And further, once our index is done, then we'll simply add our value to our index. Okay, and then we'll check whether that particular index has now become an even number or not. If now it's become an even number, we'll add its value to our final answer. Okay, final sum. So once that is done, we actually got our value. We are not traversing the num array for a whole number of times again and again, because that's not necessary. That's not necessary because only a single index is getting changed. The whole num array is not getting changed. So only a single index, we'll keep track of the single index simply. Okay, so that will be our approach to this question. So as I say, simply let's go ahead and write our code. Fine, write our code, and then I will tell you exactly what we are saying and what we wrote, what's the similarity, and how we thought of it. Okay, so this will be the approach. Let's go ahead and quickly write our code. So then you see it took around 6 milliseconds. It varies as all. So it can go out down to 4 milliseconds, eight milliseconds. So that's a vary can happen. So anyways, that's not a problem. So we'll simply look into how we try to solve this. Okay, so how we actually solve this? Look here. First, we calculated our sum. Okay, sum being if we went through each of the numbers in our array, a given nums array, and then we'll find out if each of the number is like any of the number is like even number. There you can see mod 2 double equals 0. We just added it to our sum, right? So that's like only order of n traversal through our nums array, and then it traverses to the whole queries array. Now, if the queries array length is greater than our nums array length, then the order will be based on this queries array, and if the nums array length is greater, so order will be based on this nums array, like the whole complexity. Let's further see. So what it did, we just traversed through our whole array. Okay, like we traverse through the whole queries array. In the queries array, we first got our index being queries of ones, like IE1. That's the second position query, right? That's the second index, like whatever the ith one position. Fine. Now we just check if nums of index is the current index we got is previously like even number. Okay, it's previously even number. From our sum we just subtracted our index. If it is previously index even number, in case it's not, it's okay, well, ignore it. Then we did our addition, like in our nums of index we just added queries of 1 0, that is the value we got. So we added the value to our desired location. Fine. Particular index, and then we again check if our current index is uh, even number or not. If it is a even number, we'll add it to our sum. Fine. If we got like after the addition, after the query, if we got it as an even number, we add it to our sum. Fine. Now, once I added to our sum, we got okay. Like finally, whatever we did, whether we added to a sum or we didn't add it to a sum, we'll store it in our sums array. Like after each query, we need to give a result, right? So whatever the after query one we got over 8, and we need to store it, right? So that's what we did in our answer array. At the ith position, I starting from 0. So at the ith position, we just stored our sum. Finally, after we just ran through the all the queries, we simply returned our answer. It's not a tough question, just a tricky in the sense you need to remember you are not traversing this nums array again and again and again to find the sum. So that's the trick over here. Nothing much difficult. I hope it's easily understandable now also how we can solve this. So that's about this video, guys. So if you got any doubts or if you have any problem understanding this, make sure to comment it down in the comments as well. So I'll be happy to help you out in the comments as well. So thank you all for watching this video. Hope to see you soon in my next video as well. Thank you.